Okay, so mic is connected. Boy, pardon me. Why is it set to private? I don't want it to be private. Is this supposed to be for public? Done. Save. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. We're doing yet another test stream here. We'll see if we get any viewers. It's been a rough, long week, and I wasn't going to do this today. But I've started to learn when you want to do something the least is when you should probably do it. And if anyone does join, I maybe will, I don't know, share one of my ghost stories maybe. So, hello to anyone who joins. We are just hanging out on a Friday night. Hello, concurrent viewer, if you are real. Nice to see you. Yo, Cosmic Body, what up? Awesome. What's up, everybody? I'm gonna assume you can hear me okay. If you don't mind confirming that in the chat, that would be fantastic. Oh, good. Thank you. You're 10 steps ahead of me, Stella. Thank you so much. Boy, oh boy. So what a struggle this has been. Oh my goodness. Awesome. Thank you, Cosmic Body. I'll just call you Cosmic. How's that? Man, this has been one heck of a week. And, oh man, I appreciate all y'all hopping in. I got 5 people already. You guys are shiza, dude. You're awesome. Excuse the temporary, I'll start with this. Excuse the temporary setup. This is literally, we're just early phases, right? I like learning things the hard way. Audio's good. Thank you, Spencer. Appreciate that. If I go away, obviously feel free to let me know in the chat. It's been, yeah, where was I? So yeah, this is just a temporary setup. I just wanted to start streaming finally because I've been talking about it for a long time. And what better time than now, right? So I'm working on a little studio setup I got in another room. So while I'm getting that done, I thought, why not? Let's just get a stream going, and let's learn the hard way by just diving in head first and struggling, which is what I've been doing for the last day or so. Happy belated Thanksgiving to everybody that's joined. If you celebrated it, hopefully y'all had a great one. I'll tell you what, the last thing I felt like doing today was streaming, and I started to learn when you feel like doing things the least, that's when you should probably go ahead and do them. So that's what we're doing here. Jason, what up? Thank you, sir. Audio good. So I was streaming to members a few minutes ago, and by members I mean member, because only one of them was able to join. And the audio was not working, and I was basically talking to myself, and it was a mess. So if you are interested in becoming a member, I will do member-only streams in the future. And yes, finally got the audio figured out. I'll be doing some member-only streams in the future, but I will also be doing public streams going forward as well. So It's not going to be exclusive to members. This is something I just want to start doing more regularly. The weather is ass, as most of you are aware, especially if you live in the north or northeast like I do. And riding isn't as prevalent now, I guess. I can't get out as much as I want, so I figure why not, when I maybe would be riding, hang out with y'all instead and do a stream. Untapped market, Cosmic? What do you mean? The live streams? So, I don't really have anything specific to talk about too, but I will say live moto streams is an untapped market. I agree. Also, live streaming while riding is something I've thought about. I'm sure with the technology we have now and the ability to stream vertically on your phone, it's too easy to do that. I'm pretty sure I could live stream while I ride. So that's actually crossed my mind quite a few times. And I think that's something I'm going to seriously consider, especially when the weather gets nice again. Let me vent up a little bit. Yeah, when the weather gets nice again, and I start riding more, I'm going to try and live stream while I ride. It's got to be possible. I'm sure it is. And I think that is an untapped market. I agree. So good suggestion. Great minds think alike. Curious, are all y'all aware that I have another channel called Conspiracy Ninja by chance? And if not, you should check it out. Mainly on TikTok. I do have a YouTube version of it, but the TikTok is where I put most of my effort. It's easier to get growth there when it comes to that kind of subject. So I would encourage you to check that out, but I am going to start pushing it on YouTube as well. I'm going to start live streaming there. Awesome. Yeah. So I will say, yeah, I wasn't feeling it today, but I'm glad I went on. I'm glad we got a few people on. Yeah, so one thing I'll talk about, I guess, even though I didn't really have any topics, is like thank you, Stella. Appreciate that. I like to think so, but I'm biased, of course. Is this channel turned like 2 years old a couple months back now, or a month ago now, which is, see, now that's the stuff that Cosmic, I won't even repeat that out loud because that's something that does need to get talked about, but you can only do that in certain locations without getting banned. So I'll tell you this, I did my first live stream on TikTok last week. Oh yeah, they're watching. I did my first live stream on TikTok, and this is how I know they're watching. This is a perfect example. So last week I decided, you know what, Conspiracy Ninja's up to like 24,000 followers. Now's the time to let's do a stream and start talking to some people live on TikTok. So I did a quick stream. It was similar to this. It was just like, hey, let's do a test stream. It's going to be the first one. I planned on doing like 5 minutes, and I was on for an hour. I really went out of my way during that stream to tiptoe around so many words and phrases and not say certain things and use code words and the whole algorithm game, And I'm like about 3/4 of the way through the stream, and all of a sudden across the screen pops up a big warning like, and it said, how did they word it? Warning, your stream has been flagged for potential misinformation. And I was like, damn, y'all are listening live? Like, the AI is listening to me live talk. They had to be. And then like a few seconds later, it said, boom, your stream is now restricted and flagged. So it was not going out to anybody else. So they basically decided I was saying misinformation, and then nobody else got the notification of my stream, and it got taken out of the feed for people to find and discover, basically. And I literally went back in my head over and over, like, what did I say that was misinformation? Genuinely, maybe I slipped up. I said the word it's I don't even know if I want to say it on here. I don't know what to do anymore. monetization, but the opposite of that, when someone, like the platform, takes that away from you, let's say. I feel like I said that word a couple times, and I think TikTok did not like that very much. They were not happy about that. And to prove it, and to prove that they don't do that, they decided to do that and then demonetize my account, which was pretty sweet. But I don't care. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. That's how I do things. I'm going to try and be slick and strategic and tiptoe and navigate it as smoothly as I can. But at the end of the day, I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. So that being said, that night, because I was annoyed by that, I got some gifts in the chat from people, which is money. I did not actually ask for money. I told people don't give me gifts. I just wanted to hang out and talk. TikTok confiscated that, which was totally cool. Awesome of them. So they took the money, limited the stream. So I decided that night, like, I'm setting up a Twitch, a Kick. I'm going to find anywhere else I can stream where I can actually, like, speak and talk about what I want to talk about without it getting basically censored, Anyway, I kind of got off on a side tangent, but yo, what up, Minnesota? MC Race Fan, what's going on, brother? Welcome. Trust no forms of gov. You are correct, bro. So I don't know, what do you want to talk about? So like I said, I had no plan. This is strictly a test stream. This is my first live stream ever on this channel. So we are just kind of exploring a little bit. We could talk about my last video and the one that's coming up next. I could talk about some conspiracy and or paranormal stuff, which is stuff that I'm also into. I know there's a mix out there. Some people firmly do not believe in the paranormal, and others do and are intrigued by it. Trying to stay warm, bro. You're not kidding. It got so cold here the last couple of days. What's it in Minnesota right now? Is it like, right now we're looking at like 30s, maybe snow tonight? Same by you? Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, it is cold though. I think it's supposed to snow Sunday. We got lucky. I got to be honest. At least over here, I'm in PA. I'm sure most of y'all know if you watch the channel. As much as I'm crying about the weather, like, it held out for a little longer this year than usual. That Ducati video I just posted, whipping my boy's Ducati around like that. I only filmed that 2 weeks ago. I think 2 Saturdays ago it was. So I was lucky enough to be able to get out pretty late in the year, which was nice. But anyway, so yeah, that video just dropped. If you didn't see that, it's live now. It was my first impressions riding a Ducati Panigale V4S. As I said in the video, a friend of mine who is super nice, because I gotta be honest, if it was my Ducati, I don't know if that I would just let anybody ride it. Sure, we're friends, but he's the kind of guy that's like, yeah, just he literally hit me up and was like, thank you, goddess Stella, I appreciate that. The bike is insane, but this kid is literally like, yeah, just I'll give you my garage code if you just want to come grab it whenever you feel like riding it, which is super awesome, like really cool of him. Nuts. Not something I probably would do. I'd have to really trust the person to just take out my $30,000 motorcycle whenever the heck I want. But he's a different kind of individual. He really doesn't care about material things and is awesome. So he let me take the bike out with another buddy. We took that and the MT09 out, which was a freaking blast. It was like perfect, man. It was the last... I figured it was going to be the last nice day of the year, and it kind of turned out that way. I got out for one other ride after that, but it wasn't as nice. And I had a blast, man. That bike, oof, I'll tell you what, before I started, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to look at. It sounds... Scott, thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm going to keep this anonymous for as long as I can, bro. That's the plan. Not forever. I think I've said it in the past, like once I hit maybe 20,000 subs, maybe the helmet comes off. I'll probably keep it on for most videos even at that point, but you know, maybe we'll do the old face reveal, but I'm sure y'all aren't interested in what I look like. That's face reveal tomorrow. We'll see, bro. Luckily it's dark enough in here I can crack this without doing too much of a reveal, get some fresh air. But I don't know, members are probably going to get a face reveal first. I'll just put that out there. I'm not trying to lure y'all in, but I think the members, one benefit of the memberships is like there's perks, let's put it that way. VTuber avatar at 10K, okay. 10K is that I don't know if I understand what you mean, Scott. Sorry, bro. As in I should do it at 10K? Yeah, maybe I do. And I think we'll get to 10K. I gotta be honest, Conspiracy Ninja started taking off so much. I didn't neglect AC Ninja, by the way. I've just been, how do I say it? I guess I've just been spread thin because I've been going so much into the Conspiracy Ninja stuff, which I really love doing. The AC Ninja channel is like my main passion, though. This is what I love the most. But Conspiracy Ninja started taking off, and I wanted to keep the momentum going there. So I think that hurt me with my sub count where I'm at right now. I really do think I'd be a little higher than where I am. But that's okay, because I'm starting to get a rhythm and get some systems in place where I can kind of do everything. So we're working on that. But yeah, anyway, yeah, the avatar maybe is a good way to be on. I think that might be a good idea. Maybe we do that, and then down the road. So what I envision for the future, since you brought that up, is like eventually I do envision going non-faceless and non-helmet and showing my face, but we're talking like kind of down the road, and maybe I can see myself doing something where I have like, whether it's a podcast or just a lot more live streams with you guys, because I enjoy talking with y'all. Like, this is such an awesome way to be able to connect with the people that actually watch my videos, comment on them. We have conversations in the comments all the time, but now we can actually like kind of talk back and forth. So I feel like eventually when I get to a certain level, I could see taking the helmet off and just having a more personal connection with everybody, so you can see me talk and my facial expressions and my emotions and all that. So that's the goal. A podcast, maybe, I don't know, or just more live streams. So, but again, I see that as like down the line. That's something I'm worried about. I'm not really thinking about that now. Right now, I'm just trying to, I have so many video ideas and things I want to do. That's my focus. It's just keep grinding away, keep filming, keep coming up with new stuff, keep getting better at what I do, and hopefully give you guys a better and better product every time I put something out. But anyway, I think I got sidetracked. To get back to the point, yeah, my boy's insane. He let us ride to Ducati. It was the last nice day, and it was freaking awesome. And going into that ride, that really changed my mind on Ducati, I gotta say. Like, I've always been a fan, but it's an Italian bike. No offense. No offense to anybody that loves Italian bikes. I'm a big fan, but just all the stuff that comes with that, the maintenance, the cost of maintenance, the potential reliability concerns. It's like, it gives me like like, I don't know. They're beautiful and they sound great. I would never buy one, especially not for that price. That was always my mindset. But, I will say, since I did, and to full transparency, I did ride that bike before, even though in the video I said it was my first time riding it. But the one time I got to ride it, I literally didn't get out of third gear. I just hopped on it quick, rode down the street and back just to like sit on it and feel it out. So it wasn't like a real ride. It was just, you know, let me see what it's about. I was too nervous to even like take it any further than that, and that was like a couple years ago. But now that I'm a little more experienced, a little more comfortable, I was like, yeah, let's take it out for a real ride. So at the start of that film in that video, I was like, this thing's beautiful. It sounds amazing, really cool. I'd never want to own one. By the end of that video, I 100% want to buy one. If I'm at a point in life where that can be like my third bike, and it comes out every now and again, and yo, Cosmic, you are not a forever broke boy, brother. You got to think, not to be manifesty about it, but you got to talk the opposite, brother. You are currently broke. There's nothing wrong with being broke too. I think Charleston White or somebody said that. There's something wrong with having a poor mindset, but there's nothing wrong with being broke. So, Jamie, hi. You might be broke right now, so am I, brother. But that ain't gonna be your future, man. But that being said, that's a lot of money for a bike. Even if I wasn't broke, like, can you justify spending 30 grand on something with 2 wheels when you could go buy yourself a used GSXR-750 or even an R1? Pardon me, even an R1 for that matter is less, and you're going to get more reliability. So I'm real like skeptical of the Italian bikes, and then I also test rode the Aprilias, like the RS660, and I just started kind of loving the Italian bikes a little more. So I don't know, that video and that day kind of changed my mind a little bit after that second pull of doing a certain miles per hour. I'm not a fast boy. I'm not one of those guys that just makes videos going on the highway and wheeling at 150 miles an hour. I just think that's kind of boring. Like, how many times are you going to watch that video before you're like, okay, you can pin the throttle really fast in a straight line. Super exciting. But that being said, that was like one of the few times I'm going to be able to ride a Panigale V4S in my life, at least for now. So why not take advantage? So your boy did a couple pulls, because why wouldn't he? And that first pull was like, I said in the video, it was like Star Trek. It literally is like warp speed. Any of y'all that already ride leader bikes, you already know what I'm talking about, and you're already probably used to it. So I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But that first time you pin the throttle and you tuck into the pocket and you feel the actual power that a leader bike has. I think the Panigale that I was riding has like 216 horsepower. I don't know how much torque, I forget, but 216 horsepower on 2 wheels. Like, it's a different thing, man. It's a different feeling, and it really feels like you're going into warp speed. Everything around you blurs, you get into tunnel vision, and your adrenaline goes through the roof, and you start getting into this like zone. Man, I can see how that's an addicting feeling. Aprilias are very sick. They sound amazing. The RS660 cross plane, the 270 crank it has, not cross plane, I apologize. The RS660 has a 270 crank, and like the other bikes, that it just gives it that like guttural sound, that muscle car sound. I love that. But yeah, I can see why these guys just get the leader bikes, get on the highway, and doing 186 miles an hour everywhere. I can understand that. I get it. I couldn't ride like that every day. That's not really my thing. Ooh, my first shot at a leader bike was an RSV4 factory earlier this year. It's nuts. Damn, dude. Did you get to rip it a little bit? The RSV4 factory is sick, dude. It's beautiful and it sounds freaking amazing. I wish I got to ride that. The Aprilia demo day I did last year, it was packed there, so I could only get on so many bikes, and that was not one of them, unfortunately. The RS660 was the highest tier of Aprilia I got to ride. But also I suggest, I don't know how many of y'all do demo days. I've seen in comments when I do a demo day, people are like, oh my God, I wish I could do that. And if I was a creator, that's not a creator thing. Just in case some of y'all aren't aware. I know most of you probably are, but if any of you are not, demo days are for everybody. It's not like a creator demo day or like a, you know what I mean? Like, they invite YouTubers or whatever to test bikes. Like, those are a separate thing. But like, any manufacturer is going to do a demo day, likely at a dealership in your area. I couldn't recommend more taking advantage of it. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And you get to go test out Yamahas, Aprilias, Suzuki, whatever bikes you want. Take advantage of that. There's nothing better than being able to ride different bikes, see what you like, what you don't like. You know what I mean? So doing those, I got to ride the 660, I got to ride the MT09, I got to ride the XSR-900, the 700, the MT10. Ugh, that MT10, man. I still think about that. Yamaha at Blackman's, that's awesome, Scott. Was that like a while ago? Because I did the Yamaha demo day, but it was in Montgomeryville, which I think Blackman's owns. I think it's the same ownership, but that was like the closest Yamaha demo day I could find this year. 95 in first gear, Spence, dude. Yeah, it's chill. That's the thing with the demo days. You can only take it so far. Like, you can get that couple good pulls, but depending on the route and where your demo day is, and depending who's leading the demo day, it depends what you're able to do. 2-3 years ago, okay. So I did the Suzuki demo day this past year at Blackman's. That was fantastic. I still didn't post that video. I was able to record on that ride, which I was excited about. So I don't want to make. So Cosmic, you said I'd love to do a demo day, but I don't want it to make me want a faster bike when I still have so much to learn on my 500 and this is my side. Yo, what a good mentality you have, bro. I really, truly respect that. Honestly, I respect that tremendously. So many people are like, dude, just get a leader bike for my first bike, man. Because the internet says it's not cool if you don't. Yeah, oh yeah, there was a couple of rainouts too. The Tracer 9, yeah, I like that too. Actually, it's a clean bike. Yeah, that seems like your lane. I was gonna do the CF Moto demo day, and that got rained out, so that was kind of unfortunate. But yo, Cosmic, bro, I'm so tired of like. I feel like I hope that's dying down a little bit now, but I'm so tired of like these internet people that are, and I know they like rage bait and rage whatever they do, the bait comments, the rage bait, whatever the lingo is, the like, I saw somebody say something about my bike, like, why is everybody, all these people that talk about this and that have 400s and 500s? It's like, well, because we have brains maybe? Like, I don't know. Like, why do you need to start on a 750? Why do you need to start on a 600cc? What is the joy you get out of, like, there's so many reasons to not do that. Like, one, I don't think it's all right, I have so many things going in my head about this because it's such a hot topic for me. But one of the things that bothers me is that saying, like, it's not if you go down, but when. Bullshit. I don't agree with that at all whatsoever. But if you do believe in that phrase, not if, but when, why would you get yourself an expensive bike that's how much heavier, harder to handle? You have to, it's just touchy and sensitive in every way before you even really know how to like ride. Two, the fun of a 400 and 500 in the twisties is unmatched. I'm sorry. I took the Ducati on some twisty roads and it is a blast, don't get me wrong. But I have more fun with my 400 on a nice twisty road than I do with the Ducati. Now, the sound is a lot better on the Ducati, so like the theater of it is fantastic, don't get me wrong, but the speed I can carry through turns, the lean I can get, the fact that I can like keep pushing it more and lean more and just like practice my skills as a rider without having to worry about throttling too hard out of a turn, or like all the things that you got to worry about when you have that much horsepower. I know there's electronics now and all that, but it's just not the same, man. So you're able to like learn and practice your skills as a rider. You're able to like carry more speed through turns. And on top of that, there's like the pleasure of like ripping through gears. Like the Ducati, like second gear, third gear, that's it, dude. Like the Ninja, I'm cramming through second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, redlining. It's like being able to ride a slow bike fast is so much more fun than riding a fast bike slow, in my opinion. I know that's just my opinion. And we're not talking highways, we're talking twisties, and that's the kind of riding I like to do. And on top of that, the other problem I have with this getting a big bike for your first bike, besides the obvious safety issue, like that's the obvious thing, but these other nuances, or what I want to talk about, is the joy of moving up through tiers of bikes. So you have a 400 or a 500, or even if you get a 650 because you have some previous experience. We know a 650 is not the same thing as a 600cc. It's a lot more reasonable. Sure, it's torquey, but it's not completely out of the realm of possibility for a beginner bike. It's a reasonable beginner bike. But say you have the 400, 500. Now you get the excitement of being able to move up to a 600 or a 750 or a 650. or a 3-cylinder like the Triumphs, or whatever other bike that's in that tier, the RS660. Like, the fun of being able to move up to that next level of bike and experience that next level of power. And when you get to that tier, you have all these skills you brought with you that you were able to actually gain because you weren't worried about, am I hitting the throttle too hard? You were worried about, like, you weren't worried about dropping the bike. You were worried about having fun and learning. And just being able to move up to that next tier of bike. And then when you get comfortable there and eventually bored, moving up to that next tier of bike, like, that's part of the joy of riding to me. Like, so I love demo days and friends that let each other ride each other's bikes. Like, I don't know. Scott said, move up. Hell, I want to move down. 400 to 650 is a great size for a commute. Yes, absolutely. That's a great point, too. I use my bike to commute quite a bit to work, back and forth. And the smaller bike is much better for commuting, too. I agree with that. Especially if you're going in town and you're not on the highway. Cosmic, couldn't agree more, dude. I've said it before in videos. I'll say it again here. Whenever the time comes that I move up to that next tier, which is likely going to be this season coming up, my 400 is going nowhere, my friend. That is going to stay parked right where it is right now. And if anything, that might get turned into like a track day bike or something that I take to Pocono Raceway or something, or New Jersey. Yeah, 400, 500 is a hot segment, right, Rant? Yeah, it is. And you can tell because other manufacturers were starting to, like, realize, like, oh, we got to get some more of these 400 and 500 tier bikes. Like CF Moto started doing it, the 450 SS. Yo, Cosmic, that's awesome. You're getting 500 tuned. Obviously, it's a Ninja 500. I'm assuming, right? I'm assuming I'm right about that. Because I would like to do the same thing. Like, I watched a video on Yami Noob about not tuning your 400s and 500s. Disagree with him on that too. So I'm glad to hear you're doing that, because I think I might do the same thing. I watched a few other videos. I don't think it was Max Wrist, because he's a nut. There's somebody else like him that has a similar voice, and I can't remember his name. Crap. Anyway, he has a 400, and he got a full exhaust and a tune. And sorry if I'm not looking at y'all. Again, my first live stream, I'm just looking at the chat, and I just want to be able to, like, see the chat and talk to y'all. If that is, like, weird in any way, just give me feedback, and I'll next time make sure I move the camera somewhere else. But this dude had a 400, and he rode other big bikes. So he had a stable of bikes. He had a bunch of big bikes. He had a 400. It was one of his earlier bikes, and he, like us, kept it for a long time. But he got the ECU flashed, and then he got a full exhaust. And he took it out for a first ride in a video, and I mean, it sounded really good for a 400, I gotta be honest. And on top of that, he loved it. Like, the excitement and joy he was experiencing clearly in the video of, like, the extra power. Like, okay, maybe it only adds 2 or 3 horsepower, right? But you're talking a bike that has, what, 47 horsepower? If I remember correct, I forget. When you're talking about a bike that has that little horsepower to begin with, and you're only adding a few horsepower and a little bit of torque, that's enough to make a difference, man. The bike's 354 pounds. Like, that's going to make a difference with the throttle, the gearing, and that little extra oomph that you need on the highway or getting on the highway. And I can only imagine the 400 with just a little bit more, how much more fun that would be coming out of turns. Demo days are a blast. Demo Gixxers and Busas. Yeah, you know what? I'm bummed I didn't get on a Busa. You'll see my Suzuki demo day video coming out soon. I started editing it, and then my ADD kicked in. I decided I wanted to work on another video, and so that demo day was a while ago. But I am going to get back to editing that, I think, this week. I'm bummed I didn't get on the Busa, man. I really wanted to. I was close to being but I would have had to wait like another 4 hours or something. And I was at the demo day so long at that point, I just wanted to dip. But I did get the Rip to 750, which that was the main thing I wanted to ride. It was the only bike there with no electronics. They did like a pre-ride meeting with all the riders. They're like, all right, everybody that has electronics on your bike, come on over. I walked over and he was like, not you, you're on the 750, you don't need to hear this. And I walked away, and I was the only one standing by myself looking around like, oh, am I the only one without electronics on any of the bikes today? It was so fun to ride like a 750. That thing is nimble, and the fact that it's just like a raw bike, it's like an early 2000s bike. There's nothing fancy. There's no traction control, no wheelie control. It's just you, the throttle, the clutch, the brake, the gear. It's like a raw experience. I loved it. It was awesome. So and it sounded so good. I can't wait to drop that video. And also Suzuki was awesome because they let you film on the demo days. That's been a battle for me. I filmed on Aprilia. I got in trouble, but I was still able to film. If you haven't seen that video, just search it on my channel. I got in trouble multiple times on that demo day for doing an accidental wheelie and filming. Yamaha was super strict about filming. They were not having it. So I tried to sneak it. I was going to try and like MacGyver my camera in my jacket and open. I had a whole plan because I really wanted to like record it and show it to you guys. It didn't work out. They were on me like a hawk. Suzuki was like, yeah, we don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. But I think there's a trade-off there. I think they really went out of their way to follow the speed limit, whereas Aprilia and Yamaha were a little more brisk on their demo day routes. Spence, where you at, bro? Where do you live at? Is that so? Oh, at the demo day they need 3 years experience for the. Yo, let me tell you, you're in the U.S., right, Spencer? I agree, Cosmic. So, like, I think what happens is, oh, Goddess, damn, you did not have to do that. Thank you so much. Yo, I am grateful for that. I really appreciate you. Thank you, Goddess. Miss Stella, you are the GOAT. Triumph and BMW doesn't care. Scott, thank you for that note, because I'm going to find those. I really want to do a Triumph demo day. BMW's cool too. Of course, I'd love to take the S1000 RR out. Who wouldn't? But I like Triumphs a lot. They're unique, cool, vintagey looking. They're sporty and vintagey looking, whatever you want. Like, my cousin had a Triumph triple, like the 999, I think it was. I forget. It got totaled and he got into an accident, but I loved that bike when I was a kid. But I agree, Cosmic, to your point. Spencer, you're in Northeast PA? Northwest PA. Okay. What up, PA, bro? We got a few Pennsylvanians in here. That's what's up. So what I want to tell you as a tip for demo days with the years of experience, it does not hurt to ask when you go to sign up. Show up early. Let me give you some tips on how to finesse the system, okay? So I'm not saying this is a guarantee, but I will say this has worked for me and some friends before. One, just being cool to people and being overly polite and friendly. Sparking up a conversation goes a long way, specifically with the person you're signing up for the demo day with. When you show up and you register is what I'm trying to say. The one time at the Yamaha one, for example, they were not allowing people to book more than one ride at a time, right? But we got there early. We sweet talked the one lady there. She was very friendly. She's like a former racer. She was cool as shit. But we were like, hey, do you mind? There's really not that many people here, and we drove from really far away. Like, can we just maybe book one more ride now? And I'm glad we did, because like it wasn't even that crowded. So we didn't take any rides from anybody else that could have got on later. But I was able to just secure the two bikes I wanted to ride on the Yamaha demo day, but just kind of like, and sometimes they say no, but you got to shoot your shot. And then at the other demo day, the Suzuki demo day, my buddy only had his license for like 6 months, but he really wanted to ride the GSXR, the 8R. Sorry, I can't say the GSX-8R. That's what I'm trying to say. And I got there before he did. and this older gentleman named Gene, I'll probably never forget his name, because he was sassing people before I got up to sign up. So I was like, oh man, this guy's going to be tough. And I started sparking a conversation with him, and I was like, what did that guy want? And he's like, well, he wanted his 5th ride already today. I told him no. So I let him vent to me a little bit. We chit-chatted, and I was like, hey, what are the chances, which is always a good way to start your question with, what are the chances? Don't be like, hey, can I get this? You just, hey man, what's the chance my buddy can maybe get on something that's not like a beginner bike? You know, he's experienced, but he only just got his official license this last, fall or whatever. And he's like, I'll tell you what, I can get him on the GSX-8R. Just tell him to come see me directly when he gets here. And I trusted my friend, and for the record, I trusted my friend because he knew how to ride enough that I felt like it wasn't dangerous getting him on one of those bikes. So let me put that out there as a qualifier. If it was somebody I had nerves about, I don't trust their ability or their skills yet. But my friend I knew could handle this bike. But because of like how long he waited to get his official license, so it depends on, it's like anything, man. It's how you talk to people and how you deal with people. But it sounds like you'd be able to go on anyway this next year, but shoot your shot, bro. That's all I'm trying to say. Next time you're at a demo day, be like, look, I know how to ride. What's the highest bike you can get me on, to see what they say. I missed some comments and messages, so I'm just going to go read back, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Yeah, that 10% extra power, Cosmic, is a perk, bro. Definitely. It is, so Jason said, it is so important for new riders to learn the fundamentals on a smaller displacement bike. Bought my first bike, a KTM 390 Duke, at 49 years old, 3 years ago. So glad I did. That's awesome, dude. Couldn't agree more. Preach, as they say. And it's fun, man. Like, a motorcycle is fun no matter what. I don't care. If a Grom was my first bike, I would have had a blast. Sure, I would have got bored faster, but 2 wheels is 2 wheels, and it's fun no matter what. It's like, I tell people, like, if they're riding a 400, a lot of times, as Scott, I think you mentioned, like, it's good for a commuter bike. If you're commuting constantly, you start to lose, like, kind of what that bike was meant for, and you're just kind of sitting on it, putting around, ride to work, ride back. And if you're unlucky enough that you have a very boring route to work every day, you start to, like, forget what these little bikes are capable of. For anyone that gets bored of that, do yourself a favor. Set aside some time on a Saturday or Sunday, go find the twistiest road in your area, and go hit that thing for the day, and it will reinvigorate your love for that 400 or 500 again. There's nothing compares to that, in my opinion. I used to ride when I was younger. I didn't have a license, but I used to ride. Don't suggest that. I never owned my own bike when I was like a kid, but my cousins, my whole family had bikes. So I rode bikes back in the day. They were always bigger bikes, and it was nerve-wracking. But when I started to get back into riding again, I didn't care about what people thought. Like, so many people, when I pulled up, like, why didn't you get a bigger bike? And I'm like, because I didn't, because this is for all the reasons we just talked about. People can judge that all they want. Don't care, man. Like, I've had so much fun on this 400 for the last couple of years, and I don't regret it for 1 second, to the point, like we said, that I'm not even going to get rid of it. Cosmic, why they don't want you filming, what I was going to get to before, so I'm glad I read that, is it's one of those things where some douche ruins it for everybody, I think, is probably what it comes down to. You get a couple people trying to be silly and do wheelies and ride like idiots and break the law and record it on a demo day. That's a huge liability issue. If you're following all the rules and the laws, people are doing the speed limit, you're not acting like a fool and then posting it on the internet, I don't think they would have an issue with it. In fact, from what I heard, Yamaha always allowed demo day recording in the past. That was somewhat of a recent change where now they don't allow it. And I think they actually, if I remember correct, the nice women that were leading, our demo day rides implied that. They said somebody put a video on YouTube and ruined it for everybody, basically. But to someone else's point, I agree. Or Cosmic, you said this, that it showcases their bike. I agree. I think once my channel gets more subs and I'm a little more established, what I probably will try and do ahead of time is reach out to the manufacturer and be like, hey, this is my channel. I'd love to be able to do a review on the bike, or either a sponsored video for the demo day to help promote it ahead of time, especially since we have a lot of viewers in my area that I could probably get to come out. We can probably meet up there and just do a demo day together. I think that'd be cool. So I want to try and do that. I don't know how successful that's going to be, but I'm going to shoot my shot, like I said. Maybe if it's more established, I can get like specific permission to film on these rides, and then I can film on all the ones that I can't currently. But Suzuki didn't care. I think Suzuki didn't care, but the trade-off was Suzuki, like I said, was very particular about following the speed limit. The Aprilia demo day, I'm not trying to put them on blast because they were awesome. They didn't want you to film, but we were also hauling, dude. Like, we started riding, and I was like, okay, this is nice. I'm getting used to the 660. It was the first bike I took out. And then we get up into the mountains, and dudes are taking off on me. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so it's like that? All right. I said, we're really riding. So we were leaned over, like, not like reckless, but we were moving at a really good pace. And I really got to like feel out the 660 and sort of fell in love with that bike on that ride. So that's the trade-off. They're not going to let you film, but they're probably going to make a fan out of you, and they're probably going to get someone to buy their bike. If they let me film like Suzuki did, we're following the speed limit within 5 miles per hour, and you're basically just putting around on a GSXR-750 slow as can be. Now, I managed to have a little more fun than I probably should have, so you'll see in the video. But I had to work at it. I had to like slingshot and give myself space, and so it's a trade-off, I think. Spence, you're sick, bro? Sorry to hear that, man. Hope you feel better. I woke up feeling like crap today, dude. I don't even know how or why I'm doing this live stream right now, but talking to y'all gets me gassed up, so I'm excited. I really was tempted to just not do this today. I really felt like crap today, and I think a lot of people I know are getting sick. It's that time of year, man. If you, one tip, zinc, vitamin D, make sure you're taking both of those. D3 and zinc will work wonders for you. Make that the dealers don't allow filming from an insurance standpoint, but still exposure. Yeah, I agree, Stella. I'm going to talk to Blackman's. I think I want to see Blackman's or Montgomery. They do, by the way, they'd let you test ride. So for anyone in my area, I know there's a few people here, Blackman's and Montgomeryville, they will let you test ride their bikes, which that kind of went away for a while. From what I understand, it came back. But they make you sign one of those you break it, you buy it waivers. So if you don't trust yourself and you're nervous on a bike, maybe don't do it. But also anything can happen on a ride, so it's not to say that you can't be experienced and God forbid someone hits you or whatever. But just keep in mind, you can test ride whatever you want. So I think I'm probably going to take advantage of that come spring and start test riding some stuff. And I may or may not have my camera on me, so we may do some. But ideally, I'd like to do it transparent and honest because that's how I like to approach things. So I think my first attempt is going to be to talk to them as a content creator and be like, hey, I'd like to promote your dealership. Let me take out some bikes for test rides. That way I'm not just the annoying guy that's there for a test ride every week but never buys anything. Probably piss them off more than anything. So I'm going to try and talk to them first, see if they'll let me ride stuff for the channel. Then I can review bikes for you guys, give my first impressions of stuff. And I'm not going to review it like a pro. I'm not... By any means, am I a pro or an expert mechanic or anybody that can give you the specific detailed in and outs of every motorcycle mechanically and ergonomically and all that stuff. But what I can do is give my first impressions of it and just let's like go ride together on a bike and try new stuff out. And you guys can get my reaction to it. And at the same time, promote their dealership. I think it's a win-win. It was a super fun bike. Learned so much on it, for sure. I now ride the Yamaha XSR-900. Jason, the 900 is an animal, bro. So I got to ride that at the Yamaha demo day, and the 700 and MT09. The 900 and MT09 same motor. That engine sounds so good. That 3-sill, what is it? The CP? I forget what they call it. CP3. Such a good sounding bike, man. That MT09, so that's what I'm editing right now, by the way, on that ride, the Ducati video. Again, if you didn't watch it, check it out. Just dropped it the other day. That's one of 2 parts. The second part's coming up now. We switched bikes, and then I took the MT09 back down, and I gave my first impressions on that. And I thought he had a slip-on it at first, to be honest, because it sounded so good, just bone stock. That engine and the stock exhaust. I don't know if there's a baffle he took off or what, but it's just, I can only imagine with an exhaust on it how freaking awesome that would sound. Jason, I'm curious, the XSR 900, the one thing maybe it's something you get used to, you tell me. The one thing I didn't love, everything about the bike was phenomenal, including the way it looks. That vintage cafe racer is like, that's my jam, dude. But the not having a backstop by your ass was weird to me at first. Like, I know the seat has a little curve. Do you get used to that? Does that bother you at all when you're like really giving it the beans? Is that something that, like, because I feel like that bothered me immediately, but I can imagine getting used to that maybe, but I'm curious from someone that actually owns it. Does that bother you? I test rode the MT09 last month, and that's what I want next. It's a great bike, dude. The intakes on it, man. So Dad Flap, I love the name. The intakes, they look gnarly in the front, right? But I also forgot they were there when I was riding. And when I was like downshifting and coming to us, like slowing down, you know, and engine braking, you could hear that intake, like, it sounded like a jet. I was like, what the hell is that noise? And then I realized, like, oh yeah, this thing has these like monster intakes on the front. And they sound awesome. Like, that is such an under-discussed feature of that bike that stuff like that gets me excited. The problem is with the exhaust. I don't know if that drowns that out then. Maybe leaving it stock is the best move. There's a creator around Southeast PA, Walt, PA. His stable is a 400 and MT09. That's a pretty sweet stable, man. 2 solid, high-quality Japanese bikes that are not going to break down on you. That's another reason I got the 400, by the way. I was this close to getting the CF Moto 450 when I first got this bike a few years ago. And the difference for me was, like, replacement parts, and do I want to be able to just hop on the bike, turn the key, start it, and go, and just do an oil change every year and not stress about anything else. And to be fair, I feel like if I got the CF Moto, I might be in okay condition. It doesn't sound like people have many issues with that, but it was still like it was still too new to know that for sure. But I knew if I got a Kawasaki or a Yamaha, I was never going to have those kind of issues. And I haven't yet, knock on wood. The Norton ECU Flash with just a slip-on my Ninja, and it's definitely worth it. Made the throttle on-off much smoother. And now with power wheelies in first, what? Bro, for real? You're getting me hyped up. I'm getting gassed up, dude. I might have to send this ECU out over the winter. That's exciting. Bro, if the 400 had enough torque and power to just do a little baby power wheelie, it might be the perfect bike. Except for one thing. I'm doing it, dude. And you know what? I don't know if I'm assuming you're a subscriber, Dad Flap. And if you're not, please subscribe, join the fam, but you probably already are. And if I am, if you are already, I apologize, but, damn, there's no way to DM on YouTube, but I'll look that up. It's the Norton ECU Flash. I'll remember that. I was going to say DM me because I may have some questions, but, if you have Instagram or IG, just check me out too. AC Ninja on Instagram. It's AC Ninja. And at the end, there's an extra A because some schmuck took my name. I don't know who it is, but it's like AC Ninja. Send me a DM on Insta. Maybe we'll chat. I may have some questions for you because I would like to do that. I got sidetracked for a sec. Oh yeah. So for anyone here that owns a 400 or has owned a 400, I'd love to see if you agree with me. Maybe it won't come to you, maybe it will. But that bike is close to a perfect beginner bike, except for one very important thing that was overlooked, or feature. Ergonomically, I'll give a hint. If you can guess what it is, put it in the chat. I'll give it a minute and then I'll tell you what it is. Okay, fair. That's one of them. Not what I was thinking of, but it has to do with like riding for a long period of time. Let's say that. The clutch is mush, though, to be fair. I know some people replace the clutch spring. Supposedly, that makes a big difference. I think at the end of the day, it's still a slipper clutch, though. So, like, it's still going to have that, like, just no feel for where the grab point is, really, you know? If you saw the Ducati video, that is why I stalled the Ducati 3 times pulling out of the parking lot, which is still gut-wrenching and embarrassing, but I didn't hide it from y'all. Yes, my man, Dad Flap, you already know, buddy, the seat sucks. Sorry for yelling, but I can't express enough how garbage the seat is on a Ninja 400. What were they thinking, dude? It's sloped like this, it's hard as a rock, and pardon my French, but you just crush your nuts the whole ride, dude. No matter what you do, you're always, boom, slide to the tank, reset. Boom, slide forward to the tank, reset. It sucks. So you really need to, like, I need to, not you. I need to update that seat to the ergo seat. It's just, Stella, you know, if you watch the channel, I do bitch about it all the time. But yet I haven't replaced it for some reason, because I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess. But also because I think the legit ergo seat is like $300 or something ridiculous. I think it's probably worth it. I've had enough uncomfortable rides that I think it's about time. Yo, Dad Flap. So that's what I was looking at. I don't know if you got the like the OEM ergo seat that Cowie has. I know that one is like through the roof, and I know there's other aftermarket ergo seats that are a little less expensive, but I've heard they might not be that good. So that's part of why I haven't done it yet, because I wasn't sure if I should just commit to the there's a few aftermarket seat options. Yeah, the reviews were mixed on some of them, man. That's the thing. You can either save money and get a slightly less expensive one, but some people are like, it wasn't really worth it. So Mr. Flap says, go OEM ergo. That's probably the move. It's expensive, but it sounds like it's worth it. And yes, the 500 Cosmic, you're right. Because I sat on your bike before when I did the Suzuki demo day. I made a friend over there that had the 500, and he was telling me, like, before I even said anything to him, he was like, I learned how to ride on my buddy's 400. It was great, except the seat sucked. And I was like, yeah, dude, like we had like a bitch session about the seat, and he let me hop on his 500, and what a difference, man. It's like Cowie knew they messed up and they fixed it on the 500. It's got like an extra inch of cushion. It's nice and flat. It was totally different. That almost seems like the biggest difference between the two bikes is that seat and the ergonomics. Not mine, I'd never. Yeah. Scott, you said, I'm on the fence about CF Moto. There were issues with some bikes early on, but seems like they figured it out, and there is still a shop locally. Yes, and I think Blackman services them, if I'm not mistaken. I know they sell them. I forget if they service them. I know, like, they don't service Ducati, but I'm pretty sure they service CF Moto. LOL. Yeah, Cosmic, that's true. But yo, damn, what was I saying? The CF Moto thing, Scott, you're right. Especially because for those that aren't aware, CF Moto's been around for a long time, but they did side-by-sides and like ATVs and that kind of stuff. Like, that's kind of where they started, and then they started branching out into motorcycles and beginner bikes and stuff like that. But I know people personally that have had CF Moto a side-by-side or an ATV. I forgot which one it was that they had a major mechanical issue with. It was like a huge pain in the butt, a bunch of failures, and they had a lot of issues, which made me like, but that was old. That was like an older model. Everything newer from what I've seen doesn't seem to have those problems. To your point, Scott, it's like they had those early kinks, and I think them working with, if I'm not mistaken, they work pretty closely with KTM. Like I think they use KTM parts in a lot of their bikes, and I don't know that they're fabbed at KTM factories. I think they just share some components. They seem to have like worked those kinks out, and they give you bang for your buck, man. And Yamaha, I didn't know that. I mean, that's a big plus for them, dude. There's this thing happening where, what show was it? I can't remember if it was Stranger Things. There was some show I watched. There was something about time travel. Oh, it was Back to the Future. Sorry, I was watching Back to the Future the other day. Bear with me, because this relates to what we're talking about. And the kid in Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox, Marty, says to Doc Brown, something about, was it the car? He was like, something about it's built in Japan. And then Doc, because he had gone back in time to like the 50s, Doc Martin or Doc Brown, whatever, Doc Brown, I think, was like, it's built in Japan? What a piece of junk. I can't believe you have something that's built in Japan. And he's like, what are you talking about, Doc? All the best things in the world are built in Japan. And he was like, great Scott, Japan becomes one of the best built, like one of the higher quality manufacturers in the world for a country. It was like a mind blower. Like a paradigm shift. And I politics aside, I almost feel like that's what's happening with China right now. Like, there's still a ton of junk from China, don't get me wrong. However, all of the videos that you watch on my channel are filmed on my DJI camera. And the reason I bought DJI and the mic I'm using right now, it's a Chinese brand, and I was reluctant. But the reason I bought DJI is because I did endless research ahead of time. That's usually how I am when I make a purchase. I'm indecisive because until I feel like I have all the information, I won't make a decision. You couldn't compete with DJI's like film quality, build quality, reliability, and the bang for your buck as far as cost. The battery didn't overheat. It lasted way longer. The footage looked better. All the features were better. Just everything about it was better. And it's Chinese built, which was like a little adjustment I had to make mentally. Like, okay, I guess I'm okay with buying this, even though it's Chinese. Now, there's still a ton of junk that's Chinese, but a lot of the brands there are like CF Moto is a perfect example. It's hard to get over that stigma that's Chinese built, but like they look great. The build quality seems to be pretty damn good from every review I've seen. And I don't know. I feel like that might be changing over time. It just has that feel. China can make garbage like my Grom clone, but they can make really good bikes like KTMs. The KTM from China are better than the Austrian bikes. Are they really? That's interesting. I didn't know that. So the quality of the KTMs built in China are better. It's a weird thing, man. The flux capacitor on the side of the bike. That's hilarious, dude. Yo, I love Back to the Future. We put that on, me and my girl, because we hadn't watched it in like years. It was pretty funny, man. That's an underrated movie series. I'm sorry. I know it's popular. Obviously, people are well aware of it, but man, I forgot how good it was until I started watching it. But that struck me. It just made me think about like CF Moto when he said that, and DJI and all the other Chinese brands that I like kind of weirdly trust now compared to what I used to. So I'm curious, like this was like a fun live stream. I'm not wrapping it up yet by any means. I will call it soon, but I don't know I think each week when I do it, like just for you guys, for your awareness, how I plan on doing it with like my other channels, specifically Conspiracy Ninja, is like I have topics I want to touch on each week when I do my live stream. I'm going to my plan is to do this weekly. I'm curious, if I do this weekly, is it something you guys think you'd like to be a part of? Granted, everyone has a life and you can't always come join me on my lives, but I would like to maybe schedule them so that it's like a same bat channel, same bat time, same bat place. If you're old enough, you know the reference. So that people know when they're there, and if they want to come hang and they got nothing else going on, they'd like to hang. It's like, I'd love to come with topics each week, I guess. It doesn't have to be motorcycle specific, but like, I'm curious what you guys, I mean, I guess, are you enjoying doing the live stream thing? 'Cause if so, I'll keep doing it. I think this is fun. It's new to me. I haven't done live streams before up until this past week. It's my first time messing around with it. Like, I can come with, I agree, Scott. It's a good off-season thing to do. That was like my thinking, man. And also for us to like kind of connect a little more and communicate, if that makes sense. Not to sound cheesy, but I really want to connect with you guys. But I mean that for real. Like, it's one thing for me to put a video out every week or two, and hope you guys watch it and see comments and we get to chat in the comments. But like, to be able to like have a legit conversation is kind of cool. Like, I enjoy that. And if I enjoy this enough and you guys do too, and it goes well, I can see doing this for the foreseeable future. Maybe they get a little less frequent during like the on season for us Northeasterners. Anyone that's, or the Northerners, I should say, anyone that's in the West or Southwest, y'all don't got to worry about that. But yeah, I wouldn't mind continuing this for the foreseeable future. Scott, I like live streams. There are a few motorcycle creators that I watch on live streams. Sometimes I do one. Yo, I didn't even know you do one. I'm sorry. Also, anyone in the chat, if you don't watch Scott's Moto Adventures, I apologize. It took me so long to even say this or shout it out, but check out his channel. It's awesome. He's in my area too, so we usually see each other's videos and we're like, oh, I was just on that street the other day. He's got an awesome channel, so please go check him out. Scott's Moto Adventures, awesome channel. I did not realize you do live streams. I'm going to try and make a point to stay tuned, and when I see one pop up, I will do my best to hop on, brother. If I'm on the road, I'm probably watching. LOL, that's what's up, man. Appreciate that, Cosmic. You trucking, bro? Are you an over-the-road trucker? Yo, so also, I want to talk motorcycles. Not my only interest, though. So, like, I guess I'll just say this. How I envision the live streams, Cosmic, that's what's up, man. Be safe out there, bro. And appreciate you as a trucker. I don't think truckers get enough respect, brother. My dad was one for a few years. I know how tough of a job it can be. And I know what you guys are going through right now. It's not easy out there. They're screwing a lot of people over when it comes to y'all pay and all that. And you keep the country running, man. So it is appreciated, just so you're aware. But yeah, please be safe out there. But yeah, I guess my vision for this is like, let's talk bikes, maybe current topics, maybe talk about some other creators that do some crazy shit, like Dancing Moto. If you're not aware of that, I wanted to do a video on that clown of a person, but I just haven't felt like it was worth wasting my time and energy to do a video on him because everyone else was. If you're not aware of that story and you're interested, I'll share it with y'all quick. But yeah, I'm down to talk about whatever is my point, though. So it's not Cosmic. Amen, bro. Money talks, man. That's facts. What's my take on Dancing Moto? Well, since you asked, well, first, let me just say, my vision for the live streams is just a hangout session. So wherever this goes, let's go there. You know what I mean? I may come with some topics, but like, let's just hang out and BS. But I'll try and keep things moving and keep it structured as possible. New at the live streaming thing. I don't know how good I am at it or if I'm doing good at it. I'm hoping I'm keeping people interested enough. But like, I'm into, obviously, since I have a conspiracy channel, I'm into paranormal stuff as well. I have a lot of stories that I could potentially share with y'all if you're interested. I know some of y'all might not believe in that, and I'm totally okay with that and respect that. But if you're interested in any of those types of topics, I'll go wherever the conversation takes us, is basically what I'm saying. We're just here to have a good time, basically. So that being said, if you guys do want to hear other topics, let me know in like the comments in my videos. Be like, yo, bring this up in the next live stream, and I'll make a note of it, and I'll have it written down. That way we can like touch on it. You know what I mean? Because if you're not, I'm sure most of you know, I read and generally respond to every single comment on my channel, on all of my channels. I like just talking with everyone that watches my stuff. So the least I could do, and I find joy in it. So that's what I do. But let's get to the point. Do I watch the Y Files? Hell yeah, I watch the Y Files. Y Files is one of the best researched, what's the term for them? They're not even like a conspiracy show. They are. I guess they're a conspiracy show. But they're one of the best researched paranormal conspiracy shows. The research they do is top notch, and I honestly source them sometimes for some of my conspiracy ninja stuff. Not exclusively, but like I'll watch a video on them before I do something to make sure I'm not missing anything, because they generally cover everything there is about a specific topic. They dive so deep. Hecklefish is my man. So to get to your question, since I poked that bear and you brought it back up, that's my fault. But Dancing Moto, what's my opinion on Dancing Moto? Well, I'll start with this. Until his recent incident, I never even freaking heard of the dude, right? Like, I don't keep up with, I may have a TikTok and all that, but I'm not like a TikToker, or I don't keep up with that side of the community. Does that make sense? Like, I'm into motorcycle stuff and the other things I talked about. I'm not into like TikTok. Let's do TikTok dances in front of a motorcycle while wearing pajamas and a helmet. By all means, do you. If that's what you're into, I will never knock that. It's just not my thing, okay? And I'm never going to like promote that stuff. I think it's a little weird. That's just my opinion. But again, if that makes him happy, and if that's what gets him views, and I respect the hustle. So I have no issue with that, is where I want to start. My issue I have is this kid. He's a young kid, and this is what happens when you're young. You don't think clearly. But to be fair, I did a lot of dumb stuff when I was young, but also I feel like there's a difference between being young and dumb and being a scumbag. Those are two different things, right? So you can be young and stupid and make stupid decisions like I was, and like I'm sure a lot of you in this chat were. We've all done stuff that, like, looking back, you're like, man, clearly I was acting like a teenager and my brain wasn't fully formed yet, and had that been now, I would have never done what I did. There's a difference between that and just being a kind of a D-bag, right? And that's what I think he is, and there's a reason for that, because one, he's recording videos of him running from the cops, first of all, right? It's just stupid. You get to a point in life where it's like, hold on. You're like, what's the point of running from the cops? You know what I mean? Like, it's so, I can't imagine the cost benefit analysis going on in your head and thinking, yeah, I'm going to run from the cops. But even if you're going to do that, hypothetically, gotcha, bro. Oh, you dipping for Jixer, bro? Tell him to check out the channel, man. I appreciate you, Dad Flap. Thank you for joining. I'll see you on the next one. Tell Jixer, bro, to wait to do his live streams until AC Ninja is done, though, if you don't mind. Just pull over, take your chances. I agree. But if you're going to run, not encouraging at all. Don't be riding an R7, which doesn't go faster than the vehicle you're attempting to run from, okay? So, like, use your brain. Just common sense. Two, have enough skills to even run. Like, just watching his videos, and that video, like, it feels clear he has, like, the bike for clout chasing purposes, as the kids say nowadays, and not because he actually, like, enjoys riding a motorcycle, because he clearly didn't have any skills. Long story short, if you're not familiar, he basically recorded a video of him running from the cops. To set the scene, it's pouring rain. He's on an R7. He has no gloves on. He's in a t-shirt and I guess regular jeans, zero gear except for a helmet. And if I had to guess, the helmet's only on so he can mount the camera somewhere. No gear whatsoever, right? In the pouring rain on an R7 running from Georgia State Troopers. Like, there's so many levels of just tarded in that's what I just set up for y'all. That should tell you enough of what you need to know about Dancing Moto. But then on top of that, it gets worse. So like the state trooper tries to box him in to slow him down. Now Georgia, they're not allowed to pit maneuver motorcycles legally, but they are allowed to box you in, is the law there. So they attempted to box him in, and instead of slowing down or trying to go around, he panicked. He let off basically his left hand off the handlebar, crashed into the state trooper, got knocked off the bike, went sliding, and then the state trooper, like, and this is all from his helmet cam, mind you, from his point of view. It's a pretty gnarly video. His bike goes sliding into the ravine. He's sliding on his back as this SUV comes running him over. Luckily, the tires didn't run him over, and he was okay. But he put out he basically ended up putting out a GoFundMe and started putting out all this stuff about how the police were unnecessarily abusive and ran me over on purpose. And he sent this picture out of him in the hospital, like all bundled up and laid up and bandaged and whatever, and made it look like he was freaking in a coma, basically. Well, it turns out he was kind of basically, he got lucky. He was fine. He had some bruises and some dings, got booked like the same night, had his mugshot taken, which they don't do that if you're in that bad shape and you're in the hospital. They're not going to book you, bring you to the jail, take your mugshot, and then put you in jail while you wait to get bailed out. You stay in the hospital till you're healthy enough to do it, right? So long story short, he basically posted like it was all the cops' fault. Then he started a GoFundMe for people to give him money for it. Like, to me, that is like a level of scumbaggery that I'm not cool with. Like, your fault, bro. Take some accountability. You were running from the cops. Your lack of skills on top of your lack of thinking critically got you in that situation. And then you have the audacity to put a GoFundMe out there to make your fans pay you money to what? For what? Like, why? How? I can't even imagine. Like, Jixerbrat did a video on this, and he made a good point. If you're going to do something like that, at least sell merch. Like, give the people something in return. Like, you're running from the cops, breaking the law in no gear. And what bothers me about that is, like, kids watch that. The people that don't ride yet, the people that were like us 10 years ago, whatever. Like, they watch these channels, they see people riding, and they become like, they idolize them. And like, God forbid people idolize someone like that and get on a bike and that's how their mentality is when they ride. You hope people think for themselves, but I think we all know, like, people are easily influenced nowadays. So I think he's a moron, and I don't want to get into too much name calling because, like, I would like to be above that, but I just think, like, the level of stupidity is ridiculous. But then on top of that, to ask people for money to just fund your idiocy is wild. And then crap all over the state troopers. I'm not saying all cops are perfect, but, like, bro, that's on you, man. You should have pulled over. And then on top of that, you find out he's been, like, arrested before for this. He's run from the cops before. It's like, you're a moron, dude, honestly. So Cosmic, yeah, that's my opinion on him. I think he's stupid. And I think people like that are stupid. And I don't think people should support content creators like that just because they dance in front of a bike, and poorly, I might add. Not that I can dance, but yeah, I don't know. I don't get it, dude. This generation is just kind of, I feel like an old guy now. No offense to anyone, but I feel like back in my day, none of us would have acted like that, which maybe that's not true. We just didn't have as many cameras back then, but and phones like this. But it's just, I don't know. There's this group of kids now that are coming up that are just scary. They scare me. All right. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Maybe on that, we'll probably start wrapping this up. I don't know, how long have we been live? Let me look. Does it even say? Holy shoes. Almost an hour and 20 minutes. That's awesome. Cosmic said, dude, it's sad because idiots like them shell out brain rot content to the masses that think it's cool. it is sad, and I hate that. It's a thing where, like, when you're young, you're easy to be, I guess there's so many different people and everyone's brains work differently. There's this group of this generation where you're like, I worry about them being influenced by that. But at a certain point, I would hope the people watching that, young or not, can stop and think for themselves. Like, just think for yourself, man. Like, be young, be dumb. That's part of growing up. Sometimes you got to learn shit the hard way. You got to touch the hot stove to learn it's hot, not to do it again. But I also hope and pray that, like, these younger generation just, like, when I see these younger kids, like one I met at the demo day, that's like, I'm not getting a leader bike for my first bike. Screw that. I love that stuff. Like, these young, they're out there. Some of those people that can still think for themselves. You see it many times in our Moto Discord, trying to help them learn the right ways. That's what's up, man. That's awesome. Any way you can help. Like, I think I might make some more videos on that. I actually do have a plan for a video. I was going to use the Panigale in it, but if my buddy might be selling that, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to use that for this video. But I wanted to ride the 400, and I wanted to ride a leader bike on the same stretch of road. And the concept of the video is basically going to be like, more or less big bike versus beginner bike for a new rider. Like, what is the actual difference? And just show people, like, the difference riding a Ninja 400 or 500 on a twisty road and riding a big old leader bike that's got a little more weight to it, that's way more powerful, and you got to be extra cautious with, and you just can't have as much fun with. So I want to take them on the same stretch of road and just do, like, a comparison test. Like, take a pass on the 400, show my speed through turns. I'll probably use a camera car so you can see it from the outside. And then just show, like, the difference in how much more you have to pay attention to the throttle and braking and the tires being as warm as possible and all the other things that you got to, the nuances with the bigger, powerful bikes on these twisty roads. And then show how much fun it is to be on a 400 in the mountains or in the twisty roads, because it's a blast. And I think, like, maybe seeing that visual comparison side by side hopefully encourages, like, that's not a video I anticipate doing, like, great, I just don't know if that's going to do that well, but I don't care. I just want to make it to, like, I don't know, if someone's bike shopping or they're a noob and a beginner and they didn't buy a bike yet and they're doing the whole YouTube and what bike should I get first and is this too powerful, I would hope that video comes up and maybe seeing the side-by-side comparison and me showing the difference visually on the same stretch of road will impact somebody and steer them in the right direction. Doesn't mean they have to get a 400, but just, you don't need a 600 Super Sport 4-cylinder for your first motorcycle. Just, you don't. All right. Yo, you guys are awesome, for the record, if you're not aware of that. I couldn't be more grateful. Since it is Thanksgiving, I'll wrap it up with this. Like, it's been 2 years. It's flown by. I never thought I'd get to the point where I am now, you know, even just my videos and how I've grown as far as, like, filming and the content and what I'm expanding into. I'm so far from being, like, really good at what I do, but I enjoy the process and this and like the learning and the community and meeting and talking to all of you. Like, I guess I didn't see where this was going when I started it, is what I'm trying to get at. But now that I am where I am now, like, I couldn't be more grateful for it. And I couldn't be more grateful for, like, the subscribers I have. The fact that this is, like, my first stream ever and we've had 8 to 10 people in here at any given time is amazing. And I'm thankful for all of you. And I just want to make that clear, and just let you know how much I appreciate y'all. And I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. This and Conspiracy and Ninja are going to continue to grow together. There's probably going to be some crossover. I have, though it is the winter and we'll be live streaming more, I have so much content I filmed over this past season that I couldn't get out, or I just didn't have the time and the schedule to. That's going to get put out over the next few months. So there's a lot to look forward to. I hope so. Thank you, Stella. I really do. I love this. Like, I genuinely love this. I know people have opinions on doing this full time. I get it. Hypothetically, if I could do this full time, and it's not because it's like I would do this full time, and it's not because it's like, oh yeah, I could just chill and like make videos. It's so much easier than like working. Like it's not really easier than working. Like my 9 to 5, I know what I got to do. I clock in, I get it done. It's stressful like everybody else's job. You got all those stresses to deal with. I clock out, but I get paid consistently and decent. And like, that's to me easy, even though the job's stressful. This is like a lot of work. Like the amount of editing and hours I put into editing and filming, and the money I spent on gear and creating ideas for videos. And for you guys, for some background, I'll edit a video, I'll release it to myself, I'll watch it, I'll put it back in the lab, I'll chop it up some more, I'll watch it again, I'll change some things. Like there's a lot of time and effort that I've put into and thumbnails and how to do thumbnails to get attention without being clickbaity, and all the nuanced stuff and all the business stuff in the background. It's a lot of work, but because I love doing it so much, it just doesn't necessarily feel like that. But if I could do this full time, to the point, I guess I should probably just get to the freaking point. I 100% would, because I don't know. I love it in a way that I haven't loved anything else I've done in my life. So that's my goal eventually. One step at a time though. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm just worried about continuing this and having fun doing it. But yeah, I'm gonna wind this down. I think I will say, if you're not a member, consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed, and please consider becoming a member. For my OG day one members, I don't see any of them in here today, but I did do a member only stream before. I did send out free merch to all of them just as a thank you. And if any of you are in here, I didn't see you, I truly appreciate you. And if you're a member, I do plan on doing like member merch raffles every few months. I haven't figured out the details yet, so please don't hold me to like the time frame. I'm thinking either quarterly, monthly. I got to figure that out. But I would love to do like a raffle, and just every month or whatever, I send something out to somebody just as a show of gratitude. You get early access to all my videos, member exclusive videos. We're also going to do member exclusive live streams. But I'm still going to do these live streams for the public and subscribers, because I enjoy it too much. And I think it's a good time. I will try and get better at this. This is just the first stream. We'll have a different setup, maybe not next time, but the time after. I'm going to work on my live streaming abilities and skill set, and hopefully every time we do this, we have a little bit more people in here. I couldn't be more happy with having what we've had in here. If one person joined this, I would have been thrilled. But yeah, you guys are the best. And I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm going to try and do this weekly. So let's just say this was the first of a weekly AC Ninja stream. Maybe we make it every Friday night, and we'll take it from there. We'll see what happens. My MT09 video is releasing. I'm hoping Sunday. I should have it done tomorrow. I'll be editing after this, and I'll try and get that wrapped up. And, oh no, who just said go birds? Thank you, Stella. I hope so. Jason, I hope this doesn't change our relationship, but I got to talk to you about something. I am a Giants fan, but I hope that makes you feel more bad for me than dislike me. Is that fair? Because it's been a rough stretch, bro. Boo the Birds. They looked off. Oh no, they didn't win today, did they? I think the Bears won. I didn't even watch. I didn't have time. It felt crappy. But all due respect, I have plenty of friends that are Eagles fans, and we get along just fine. So I think we'll be all right. Again, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope everyone has an awesome weekend. I hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Thank you again for everything. Thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting, joining the stream. Check out the video dropping Sunday. And I would not have guessed this was your first stream. Glad I caught the tail end of it at least. Amanda, awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. This was my first stream, but I'm now a veteran because this first stream is about to wrap up. I'm sorry you got in at the end, but if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. And I will make sure to be back next Friday. Maybe I'll do a surprise one during the week after work if you guys are around. Let's say maybe I'll aim for Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll just do a quick one. We'll hop on for an hour and BS. But for sure, next Friday night we'll try and get another one going, and then we'll make this a weekly thing. All right, I think that's it, y'all. One last time, appreciate everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. And I will see y'all on my next video this Sunday. Look for the MT09 video. And yeah, I'm out. Peace.